Yeah, hey guys. So today I kind of wanted to, address the newest topic, which is the Master Data Hub. So we're going to go over throughout these series of topics, setting up a environment for this to push and pull records and items such as that. But today I kind of wanted to cover just the super fundamental items. So specifically, what is Master Data Hub and some of the key terms that you would need to understand to kind of correlate some of this stuff to an end-to-end solution. So first things first I wanted to cover is what is Master Data Hub? So Master Data Hub is a cloud-based multi-tenant data synchronization platform. So by data synchronization, I basically mean that let's say there's multiple services that are connecting to the Master Data Hub. So for example, you have a database, you have Salesforce, you have NetSuite, places such as that, where you want all this data uniformed throughout, let's say, these three sources or these three services. So the point of Master Data Hub is it validates your data, it performs some sort of validation logic on your data. You can do a bunch of different things to it to then have this, and we'll get into this, some sort of, it's called a golden record, which is essentially the ideal record for a given entity. So from there, you can push and pull records based on certain aspects, certain fields, items such as that. So as I mentioned here, the typical use case of MDM that I've seen at least is keeping your company information accurate and consistent. So for example, if you have employees, customers, keeping all those sources intact, uniform, and synchronized. So these are some of the key terms that I definitely wanted to cover before we actually looked at Master Data Hub. So the first thing is a repository. So the repository is essentially your container that stores all of your domains. So by domain, I mean your employee domain, your customer domain, items such as that. So the repository is going to take updates, create records, items such as that from a source. And we'll get into a source, but basically think of it as a system. So by default within Master Data Hub, you're given two repositories, but you can get more. But most people typically have, let's say, a test and production environment. Think of it as. So a model is essentially the structure of your domain. So for example, if I have an employee model, maybe I'll have fields. So you specify fields. So maybe I'll have social security number, first name, last name, items such as that. Match rules. So this is some stuff we'll get into later, but think of it for this way. Let's say I don't want two records having the same social security number, which logically cannot happen. Maybe I want to reject that record. Data quality steps. So we'll get more into that too. But for example, let's say I find a record, I want to run it through some sort of validation logic, or I want to run it through an integration process. That's the point in your data quality steps. So kind of what I was explaining, it's your definition, your structure, so character type data, repeated data items such as that, and then that validation that you may want to perform. So a source is basically a system. So Salesforce, NetSuite, a database, it's any endpoint that's going to interact with MDM. So whether they contribute or they take and accept requests from the hub itself. And then the golden record is essentially your master record. This is your ideal data. This is the data that you want synchronized across sources. Okay, thank you guys. That's kind of what I wanted to cover today. And then we'll kind of get more into MDH tomorrow. All right, bye guys.